Nine oil-producing states have received a total of 625.43 billion naira 13% oil derivation, subsidy and SureP refunds from the Federation accounts in the last 2 years, 2021 to 2022. A statement by Garba Shehu, Senior Special Assistant to the President, shows that the states received the refunds dating from 1999 to 2021, and they are Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Imo, Ondo, and Rivers. Data obtained from the Federation account Department Office of the Accountant General of the Federation show that a total of 477.2 billion was released to the 9 states as refunds of the 13% derivation funds on withdrawal from excess crude account without deducting derivation from 2004 to 2019, leaving an outstanding balance of 287.04 billion naira. The states also got 64.8 billion naira as refund of the 13% derivation fund on deductions made by NNPC without payment of derivation to all producing states from 1999 to December. The benefiting states still have an outstanding balance of 860.59 billion windfalls from the refunds, which was approved by President Muhammadu Buhari. The statement pointed out that from the 13% derivation fund dated 2004 to 2019, Abia State received 4.8 billion naira with outstanding sum of 2.8 billion naira. Akwa Ibom received 128 billion naira with outstanding sum of 77 billion naira. Bayelsa got 92.2 billion naira, leaving an outstanding of 55 billion naira. Cross River got a refund of 1.3 billion naira with a balance of 792 million naira. Delta State received 110 billion naira, leaving a balance of 66.2 billion naira. Edo received 11.3 billion naira with a balance of 6.8 billion naira. Imo State 5.5 billion naira with an outstanding sum of 3.3 billion naira. Ondo State 19.4 billion naira with an outstanding sum of 11.7 billion naira, while River State was paid 103.6 billion naira with an outstanding balance of 62.3 billion naira. The states were paid in 8 installments between October 2nd, 2021 and January 11, 2022, while the 9th to 12th installments are still outstanding. On the 13% derivation fund on deductions made by NNPC without payment of derivation, the 9 oil-producing states were paid in 3 installments this year, with the remaining 17 installments outstanding. Meanwhile, the benefiting states shared 9.2 billion naira in 3 installments in April, August, and November 2022 as refunds on the 13% derivation exchange rate differential on withdrawal from the excess crude account (ECA). Similarly, all the 9 states received 4.7 billion naira each, totaling 42.34 billion naira as refunds on withdrawals for subsidy and SureP from 2009 to 2015, paid on 10th November 2022. The Federation account also paid 3.52 billion naira each as refund to local government councils on withdrawals for subsidy and SureP from 2009 to 2015 on the same date in November. The statement adds that President Buhari considers it a matter of honor and decency the debts owed to states or anyone be repaid and in time without regards to their partisan political affiliations. The President will continue to render equal service to all the states of the Federation, and an acknowledgement of these by Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State and the others is not out of place. The refund is to the oil-producing states and it will continue. Now there you have it. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has restated that the present administration under President Muhammadu Buhari has consistently supported states with funds to enable them deliver on the dividends of democracy. Anthony Forson reports that the minister stated these at the 6th edition of the PMB Scorecard Series 2015 to 2023, which featured the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed.
I make bold to say that no administration since the beginning of the current political dispensation in 1999 has done more than the Buhari administration in supporting states with all sorts of financial interventions. When the administration assumed office in 2015, at least 27 states could not pay salaries. Imagine what would have happened if Mr. President had not offered a helping hand without discrimination to the states. But for Mr. President, most of the states would have been plunged into serious socio-economic crisis with their consequences for the country.
We continue to generate revenue on a monthly basis, and these revenues are distributed as fact. And to continue with the tradition of transparency, we actually disclose how much is distributed on a monthly basis to the various tiers of government.
And as policymakers and operators of free trade zones converge in Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari says the annual gathering will enhance intra-African trade and promote peer review by the operators in what he describes as a game changer for Africa's industrialization. In a message to the 7th annual meeting of the Africa Economic Zones Organization and 5th Symposium on Special Economic Zones of the African Union, the President expressed worry over Nigeria's inability to attain full potential 30 years after the start of the free zone scheme in the country. Free trade zones have been a tool that countries around the world have used to expedite and encourage foreign commerce and industry. Nigeria's free zone schemes was first developed with the idea of utilizing the Export Processing Zone Schemes (EPZ) to promote export-oriented industries. The scheme has been able to record significant milestones, giving birth to landmark infrastructure projects that have the potential to completely transform the local and regional business environment. For President Muhammadu Buhari, more still needs to be done.
The scheme in Nigeria still lacks in delivering key economic developmental indices compared to what has been attained by free zone schemes in other climes. Nigerian free zone operators should therefore be ready to learn from their colleagues in this meeting.
We still have a lot of room to improve, and we are learning from best practices across the world. That's why it's very important for us to attend AZO events.
Over the past 5 years, 60 million jobs have been created in agro-processing, industrial fields and services, and more than $2.6 billion has been invested in the development of special economic zones projects in the continent.
Africa has an abundance of natural resources, oil, gas, minerals and metals, as well as an extensive blue economy that must be rapidly industrialized.
We need to do more in the future to broadly involve the African SEZ among several stakeholders of the African economic integration agenda.
While the African region is home to about 17% of the world's population, it only accounts for 2.5% of global trade. With the theme African Special Economic Zones, engine for resilience and accelerator for sustainable industrial value chain, participants are focused on an industrialized Africa befitting for all. In Abuja, And ahead of trading in Africa's continental market, government and business leaders across the continent have described the free trade zone schemes as the continent's game changer if the right policies are implemented and required infrastructure provided. This was at the 30th anniversary symposium of free zone schemes in Nigeria.
The time is now, and we need to build on the opportunity before us.
Jobs have been created in agro-processing, industrial fields, services, and more than 2.6 billion US dollars have been invested in the development of the SEZ projects across the continent.
Nigeria has leveraged on this concept to offer enabling business environment that has so far attracted about 26 billion US dollars investment through the existing 46 free trade zones and about 625 enterprises operating within those enclaves.
Now it's been 30 years of economic zones in Nigeria, and I have joining me an investment and economic development expert Ogbonna Okuku to take a deeper look at how these zones have impacted the economy and how they will shape the future. You're welcome to Business Express.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Leah.
Yeah, perhaps we start by you telling us how has Nigeria fared in utilizing the economic zones?
No, we have fared basically well. Let me use the word we've fared well because you know how investors think. Investors reason from where they don't want to see encumbrances. They're looking for how to untie barriers. Yes, Nigeria is a good place for people to do business, but when the free trade zone thing was created, it made it a lot easier for people who don't want to, who want a one-stop shop arrangement for them to just come in and do their business. So they felt a bit more comfortable, and then they decided to go, putting their money in some of those free trade zones.
Okay, Nigeria has been looking to deepen income, let's say, from non-oil sources, and of course, on the other hand, we're also looking to stamp feet in the intra-African trade space, while the